Oh, good. Obviously, last week was, you got the win. That's a great result. And now this week coming against an unbeaten side, really good opportunity to see where you're at.
Yeah, it is. The Bombers are playing some terrific footy. They're playing very much a similar style to Richmond. And they've really structured up well defensively. So, they're going to be a challenge. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good game on Sunday.
What's on ways of, I suppose, wrestling back momentum after last week and different techniques like that?
Yeah, look, I guess probably the biggest thing for us last week was we started to shut down offensively. So, we've certainly worked on that throughout the week. We want to play freely. We saw one of the more dynamic performances from us that we've seen for a long time for 50 minutes in the game. So we need to maintain that for longer and continue to play our way for longer. But when we do have momentum shifts against us, we need to find a way to continue to move the ball and help that in the way we defend. So there's some of the things that we've worked on. There's no doubt the link between offence and defence has never been closer. So, we spoke about that and how we can do it, but it's, a bit about our mindset as well.
Goody, just a couple of days out from a game, that was a pretty physical session. Lots of contact tackling and the boys going pretty hard at it for a quarter there as well.
Yeah, look, it's really important for us. We've had 8 days to prepare for Sunday. We're 3 days out from a game, and to get a quarter of footy in, not only for our players to continue to improve, but also for the guys that didn't play. We think that's really important for a club, and to continue to build that sort of squad mentality where we're all playing, we're all executing role, and it was a really, really strong hit out, and really happy with it. Sorry, guys.
Hungry and keen. Will he come back in, Simon?
Sorry, who was that? Sorry.
Young Cozzy Pickett.
Yeah, look, Cozzy, he'll play. He's a quality player, and he obviously missed last week for the reason that we all know about. But he gives our forward line a different dynamic. He's an elite drop of ball player. He's a pressure player, and he executes well by foot. So he'll play this week.
And how about Aaron Vandenberg? Were you pleased with how he went last week, although he missed the senior side?
Yeah, look, he didn't miss selection. It was just about getting his body right and continuing to increase his loads. He had a surgery on his foot just at the start of the season after the Marsh series. So he was really close to selection last week. But we wanted to give him another game, another match simulation to get right, and that was very similar with Mitch Hannon as well. So, we've got some selection pressure, which is great, and a lot of those guys will come into calculations. So we've got some decisions to make later today.
While we're rolling through all the selection questions, Sam Wiedemann and Mitch Brown obviously both kicked 5 goals. And do they come into the sort of mix, or do you want to give Luke Jackson a bit longer of a run in the senior side?
Yeah, look, they provide a lot of pressure for selection and spots. We're really fortunate to have 40 guys playing at the moment. So Sam and Mitch were outstanding in the match simulation. I think they kicked 5 goals apiece, and certainly putting their claims forward. So, it's a different thing at AFL level though, and obviously Tom and Jacko perform those roles on the weekend. But I think it's healthy that we've got that pressure, and it's going to be interesting who the spots go to. But the pressure's building, and we're looking for our tools to really compete and start bringing the ball to ground and start having an influence on the game. And that's the reality of the game. We need some forwards and some key forwards to start to influence games of footy.
When you reacted to your good friend Mark Rashudo's comments questioning Jake Lever's worth, I suppose.
Yeah, look, I think as a club we've got a philosophy that we don't really talk about other clubs, and obviously Mark is a pretty good mate of mine. He's very passionate about the LA Footy Club, and he's very parochial, and clearly he's thought it was going to be the right thing to come out and justify those decisions, and that's their choice. They can come out and justify why they made certain decisions, but that's something we certainly don't do as a footy club. But the thing that we probably need to make sure is right is that the term of the contract's not right, the number's not right. So there are things we've got to put on the record to straighten that up a little bit. But also the fact that we actually love Jake. We want him at our footy club. We'd probably pay him whatever we want to pay him now to have him here.
And Goody, can you use those comments as ammo down the track?
I don't know if you use them as ammo, but as I said, we don't really comment about other clubs. as a rule, but when it gets thrown your way, I guess you got to respond to it. So we love Jake. We want him at our footy club. He's been really fantastic for us, and he's only going to get better and better. But there's some things in that discussion that were put out there that just aren't right.
Have you spoken to Margaret Dent? Did you give him a call and say, hang on, what's this about?
No, I haven't yet. I'm sure I will. I only woke up and saw it this morning, so I'm not a big social media guy, so I only found out about it this morning, so I'll give him a chat later.
So you're saying Dom is not on any more than 800,000?
No.
And do you think with Mitch Brown kicking 5, he's in form, coming up against his old side, do you think that'll be a great opportunity to hand him his Melbourne debut? Does that come into your thinking?
Oh, it doesn't come into our thinking. We want to play the Melbourne way for longer. Mitch is certainly putting that selection pressure on. We know what he can produce as a forward. He's proven that over a period of time now. So he comes into the selection fold. There's no question about that. But we'll make that decision a bit later.
Is Cade Collett-Jasny, is he training against Dom?
Yeah, he's doing his rehab program. So he's still on the comeback from concussion. We're really supportive of that process that he's going through, and we just got to make sure as a club that he's fully fit to go. So however long that takes, it'll take. But he's progressing relatively well and heading in the right direction.
So there's no thoughts of him retiring?
So what was that?
There's no thoughts of him retiring?
Not in the discussions that we've had, no. Cade's he's training, he's got his program, he's progressing well, and we're looking forward to getting him back as a player.
Next.
Simon, did you spend any time with Jake this morning, just one-on-one, making sure that he's all right and he hasn't been affected by those comments? I guess it's pretty rare to have your contract and the terms of it thrown out there in the media.
Yeah, look, I think it's unfair for Jake to have that thrown out there. First and foremost, I just don't think it's right. It doesn't happen around the industry much where you get out there and you try and talk about specifics of players' deals, and I think it's really unfair on the player. Jake and I had a good laugh about it this morning once I got the information that had taken place, and just reassured him that we love what he brings to our footy club, and he's a class act, Jake. He'll just get on with it and get on with playing footy.